Eversoul has been quite a fun game so far when it comes to waifu simulator and relaxed gameplay. If you are looking to add a few more similar games to your list, here are some that you should consider checking out. Both new and older ones are suggested. First on the list is Girls Frontline, Neural Cloud. Quite a fun idle game that requires little time investment, plenty of quality of life features, and many beautiful waifus. Girls Frontline Neural Cloud is a spin-off from the hit game Girls Frontline. Set 3 years after Project Neural Cloud in 2060, this bad boy is all about a 2-month collaboration between some heavy hitters, the International Institute of Quantum Sciences, and the Important Operations Prototype Corporation IOP, led by the 42LAB organization and with some mad scientist-level help from Persicaria, our renowned AI and doll researcher, in the form of her own doll clone. You'll be stepping into the shoes of the professor, the head honcho of Project Neural Cloud. Next up, Goddess of Victory, Nikke. With so many mobile games out there, it can be hard to find one that truly stands out. However, every once in a while a game like this comes along and allows us to play with one hand, you know what I mean. This title is one of a kind. It's taking two of the biggest genres, shooters and gacha RPGs, and mix them together to create a somewhat buggy experience, but it is all forgotten when melons are in your face. As a player, you'll be building a team of powerful synthetic beings called Nikkes and shoot down waves of enemies as you progress through increasingly challenging levels. This game is not like the others. It definitely defies human physics. By that, I mean the characters. Worth a shot if you don't care about the bugginess and long loading times. Story is great, too, despite the game's flaws. The next game is 7 Mortal Sins Xtasy. This game is extremely cultured compared to Eversoul, so be prepared for some delicious waifus. It all starts with Lucifer, the ultimate rebel, defying God's will and getting kicked out of heaven and sent straight to hell. But things get interesting when Lucifer's path crosses with a normal human high school girl named Mariah. Lucifer decides to give her a little piece of angelic blood and takes her heart in the process. Now these two are pretty much attached at the hip and their destinies are forever linked. Lucifer starts taking out all 7 mortal sins one by one and throwing a wrench in the plans of heaven and hell to recreate the world. The Lord of Pride becomes the leader of the 7 mortal sins. But just when things are going good, Belial, the Lord of Vainglory, joins forces with a mysterious third faction and kidnaps Mariah. The adventure has only just begun. Oh wait, do we even care about the story? Next on the list is Path to Nowhere. Let's be real, it's been a hot minute since I've seen a gacha game come this close to copying another, but still having its own unique spin on the formula. If you're a huge fan of Arknights and want more of the same, or you like Arknights but couldn't get into the chibi and furry designs, then you should already be playing this game, no question. Gameplay-wise, it differs in the following ways. Characters cannot be rotated, and there is no air or ground attacks, and you can move your characters around after deployment. Almost all units can block an enemy. Moving things into strategic areas is key in this game. In terms of story, it is dark and fantastic, which doesn't do its silly outsourced ads justice that you see online. Highly recommended for the high-quality waifus and story voiceovers. Waifus-wise, it is just as good as Eversoul. Next up on the list is Memento Mori. If there was a Netflix and chill game, it would be this. Memento Mori is an AFK RPG game that's all about the visuals and sounds. From the get-go, you'll be enjoying the best parts of this game. The music and art. Fully animated 2D characters and a killer soundtrack, that's the heart of this game. Story-wise, the world is suffering from some serious curses, and the church is blaming it on witches, regular girls who have been corrupted by chaos energy. But don't worry, that's where you come in. You'll be playing as the staff wielder, a powerful being who can save these girls, purify them, and end the curse for good. If you're into visual novel games, with chill gameplay, a great story, top-tier music, and amazing 2D art, Memento Mori is the game for you. The next game is the Eminence in Shadow, Master of Garden. This game follows the ongoing anime, and due to the success of it, this game was born. Initially I thought it was a cash grab, but the game turns out quite decent. Here is how the story goes. Sid Kaganu, a dude from modern Japan who's all about becoming a super-powered hero. But when he's smacking his head against a tree during his daily training, hey, no judgment here, he sees a bright light and thinks, yo, this is it. My powers are finally awakening. So he starts running and jumps straight into the light, only to find out it's just a huge truck barreling down the road. Rip Sid. But don't worry, cause things are about to get real. He gets reincarnated into a fantasy world where magic is a thing and the adventure begins. Sid starts a secret organization called the Shadow Garden to take down the cult of Diabolos. The final game on this list is Azur Lane. Azur Lane is a mix of side-scrolling shooter gameplay, like the Tahao Project games, with RPG elements and gacha collection of Q-chips, similar to Girls Frontline and Kankale. The gameplay is all about naval combat. You have two fleets, one in the front row, called the Escort Fleet, and one in the back row, the Main Fleet. The front row is directly controlled by the player. You have to move them around to dodge enemy attacks on a grid, while the back row is all about support. It charges abilities that can be unleashed on the enemy. But it's not just about the combat. There's also a gacha shipbuilding, a character dormitory, a marriage system, character upgrades, and so much more. Using auto-controlled AI to complete is not as efficient as player control, not as hands-off as Eversoul, but worth playing in my humble opinion, and also the oldest game in this list. There you have it. Hope this has helped you find new waifu simulator games to play.